Hey, so my name is Steve Mayeda. You guys have seen me hosting and presenting in this event, but I am here from a website called thesexuallife.com. If you're not familiar with me, I suggest you get familiar with me. We'll get familiar in this time span. I want to say a few things here. I'm going to give two speeches, and this is part one of two. There's another one coming up on Sunday, and this one is on sexuality in life, and that one is going to be on fighting in life. Two very different things, and they're going to hit the same outcome, all right? So seduction for me is a pretty big thing. It's my freaking life. I've been teaching in the industry in all sorts of ways for a long time. You know, we could go into that or whatever. But the main thing is it is a source of life, freedom, and all these things. It could be love, lust, it could be crazy sex, and it could be a, you know, beautiful, simple relationship type stuff. Well, relationships are never simple, right? But then also fighting in life is another thing, which could be something which sounds like really aggressive, really violent, really angry. But both are going to come to one main thing. Two things are going to come into this one thing of fitting into ways to live. I was talking with a few people about some fighting stuff over the lunch break, but both will align with principles that I call spiritual principles to live by. Things like acceptance, things like open-mindedness, things like honesty, and things like to make your life better. One thing that I'd like to tell you guys about the sexual life and what we do is we are dedicated to a few very important things. And that would be, number one is authenticity. It's a word like seduction that's thrown around a lot. We hear about authenticity, we hear about seduction, we get sold on it. We have like, you know, how to be the authentic man. This is what it means. It means that you are yourself. There is no compensation with that. There's no dedication to a facade. I have no facade. Also, that with the sexual life is that there's no ranking. So even though a lot of the stuff is something that I founded, something that I created, anybody that I work with, anybody that works with me who hires us at the sexual life is an equal. All right? Sounds kind of weird. Sounds kind of like weird anarchy and all that sort of stuff. But it's very important. The reason for that is because I respect sexuality. All right? And I respect what seduction is. And it is a beautiful thing. It's a communication and an exchange between two people that I am a fan of. I do not dictate it. I might have had some experience with it. Might have had a lot. I'm sure people have had more. But it's something that I appreciate. And in order for me to be able to receive it in this moment and be able to connect with each and every one of you in this room, and for anybody listening, you know, or watching this online, in order to get that message, to feel it, I need to respect that I'm a part of this world. I'm a part of this world. We're all equal. We all have the capability to change, to experience, and great things. Another thing is what's important about when I speak, and I speak all over, whether it's for this stuff, dating, relationships, life, all that sort of stuff, or it's in prisons or rehabs, and kind of talking about different stuff, and I'll get more into my story when we talk in the next couple days, Sunday, about the fighting in life, is I have one goal. And, of course, I wish it was for you to buy all my stuff and make me rich. But my one goal is really this. It is so that you know that, one, we're all the same, and that we can all communicate and experience and be a part of this human experience. This human experience which I call life, which is awesome, which is amazing. That every day, and without getting too into it, I mean, we are an orchestration. We're a machine that somehow came together with like matter and dust and all this sort of stuff that can allow me to think and experience and feel and engage. And that when I think about things, and actually we'll get into this, that I'm grateful about and that I want to experience. And when I can get in the moment and actually live that sexual life, because sex is one of those things that will put you in the moment and in your true self. When I can get into that, it amazes me that hundreds, maybe thousands of times throughout the day, that I'll come up with a reason to have a bad day. That I'll come up with a reason that my life sucks. Or that I'll engage in, you know, anger or self-pity and all those things. And we'll probably get into this when we start fielding questions and whatnot. And I'm sorry, Anthony and Mary Lee, that I do like audience interaction. So I'll probably get the microphone a little bit earlier than most people. But one of the things is all emotions are good, but when we hold on to them and define our lives with them, we limit that. And we'll get more into that. I could go on and on about it. So that's a few things here. Now let me tell you another few things I love engaging with people. And this is my, I know I have my phone on here, and it's kind of weird and all that sort of stuff. But I never rehearse any speeches, right? And like, if you guys have seen me speak, or if you watch like the many 21 convention speeches, it's like I kind of have a little bit of an outline that I think about, and I have a lot of experience teaching that it's no problem for me to fall into a lesson plan and all that sort of stuff. And it's not any disrespect to you guys, but it's just kind of like my weird nature of organic, whatever, and I can make all these excuses. But I emailed my list today about what I want to speak about. And one thing that's really important is when I'm talking about the sexual life, the guys who are either a part of my programs or the people that are engaged who kind of like follow my stuff on Facebook, which is kind of crazy, or stuff on my email list or my material, there's a real clear message that's brought to it, that it's very different. And it's all the stuff that I had said, but it's really a pursuit of living your best life. Really, no compensation of that. There's none. If you are sacrificing yourself out of fear of rejection, and we actually heard a lot, this is really cool because we heard a lot about this today, fear of rejection we're compensating ourselves, or we're compensating ourselves for love of adoration, and we can't live in balance, then I'm against it. We don't promote it. We don't live that way. What the sexual life does is teaches you how to live in a way that's organic, that's you 100% of the time. If you're having a bad day, you can exist in it. If you're having a good day, you can exist in it. But there's no high or low. We live in balance. So I emailed these guys, and I'm like, man, I emailed them late last night. I woke up this morning, checked my email, and I'm like, shit, this is some pretty powerful stuff. Some from like previous convention attendees. I just want to kind of like go over this because I was like, man, what should I talk about? Mitch from Florida, who all of you guys know, he said, and I might cut this off because it's a little bit rude maybe. He's like, one of the things that sets TSL apart from the others is sexual fulfillment. He's like, so much material is about strategy, technique, etc. It's about getting sex with a woman, but nothing about enjoying sex, experiencing that woman, or enjoying the exchange and sharing of human connection. Listening to your podcast, reading TSL articles, and experiencing with my girlfriend, I know what it is to live the sexual life. If any of you guys know who Mitch is, this guy is better than any pickup artist who I know, at least. I mean, the guy is like, has such a level with sex and sexuality. He knows me from speaking at conventions, and he told me a couple months ago, he's like, man, your stuff has started to make sense. One thing is I came from a group of pickup artists which was very, very aggressive. The term SNL comes from us, comes from basically 3 people who were working together in Dallas, myself, Captain Jack, and Sinn. We coined ourselves as getting laid. Like, that did not exist. And the thing is I know that's like some weird pickup history, but the deal is that was a big part of my story, to find that balance in life. Because I always enjoyed sex. I always thought it was a good thing. I always thought it was something that was great, but what was wanting it inside of me needed to be cleaned up. And so that's why I'm like really, really kind of passionate about the sexual life. This dude, Diego, who is a part of my programs, he said, I never thought the sexual life as a way of living. Whoops. Now that's different for me. What it means to me now is not about sex at all. It's about everything else. I re-educated myself and others to look at their unique rays of light, so poetic, and that come deep from their individuality, and that comes from me expressing my individuality. Diego's a guy that actually was a part of our last TSL Online program. TSL stands for the Sexual Life Online. He was a part of that. He was second place. We give away prizes. The grand prize is a free trip around the world for 10 days with me. These guys like invested like $300 in it, so it's a pretty good deal. Diego was second place, and he gets a week-long one-on-one with me. That guy got 18 sexual encounters, or 18 lays in 3 months. It's fucking crazy, and that was second place. First place guy, I won't read off because I think it's quite boring. All right, let's get into this. I wanted to speak about a few things, and this is going to all tie into kind of what goes on Friday. I wrote an article kind of recently, and this has been on my mind in a big way because a big part of my journey in being a part of the 21 convention, going around speaking, traveling, experiencing, and being a sexual person absolutely has to do with finding happiness, finding peace within myself. And in fact, if I call it happiness, it's the wrong thing because it's finding true existence with what I am today. Sadly, in a weird way, how I found that was through sex. How I found that was through being intimate with other women. And let me just explain here. In like 2006, 2007, we'd have all these lay competitions. And, you know, I'd win some of them and kind of became a famous pickup artist, right? And, you know, we'd write about them online. And if you ask people who are watching, how's this for like a proud moment? Most people talk about like a touchdown they made in high school or something, but no, man. I won a lay competition. but the thing is, we type online and everybody be watching. It was like this worldwide kind of like mania happening, you know, that we'd all be writing about. And for me, like I said, I knew I liked sex. I love the moment of sex. The moment of sex when men especially are having sex, men can feel emotion. Men can open up. Men can find and touch different parts of themselves, which are huge. I mean, sex is a powerful form of communication. And if you're not being yourself and you don't know how to be truly authentic, how I define it, then you're going to be communicating at an intense level with a fucked up part of yourself, all right? And I love that, but there was this contradiction, you know, where I had good moments, but I didn't know how to have relationships. I had good moments, but I didn't know how to manage my life. And the thing is one of the things that I believe, especially also when it comes to seduction and it comes to fighting, is that I look at life as the example. And life is in constant motion. It's always moving. So what I came up with for my guys, and mainly I came up with it because I wanted to do it myself, was I said, look, guys,